Yo.
Hey, this is Joe Cliff, and on today's episode of Fate of America Head to Head, we've two special guests. We have our Democratic candidate, Sam Hayes, and a Republican candidate, David Mitchell, for our upcoming presidential election. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Sam
How
Hayes,
you guys doing?
winner of the
Dave
election.
Mitchell here. I want to
Okay.
start off by saying, Mr. Clifford, thank you for having me on this
Yeah,
podcast. I'm really looking forward to this
thank you for showing
opportunity
up.
to
Thank you,
reach
Mr.
out
Cliff.
to people,
Yeah.
and we'll see how this thing goes. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Mitchell,
Mr. Hayes, how are we
may
doing?
this be a good and fair debate.
May this
Okay.
be a fair debate.
Well, now that that's out of the way, let's get started with this debate. All right, so actually, first question here is for David Mitchell. How will you maintain low taxes through your term?
Thank you. I'm glad you asked. So, to me at least, the American people come first. 10 times out of 10. That is what this country is built off of. That is what it should continue to be. Built off of the American people. Now, what does high taxes do? It hurts the American people. And that just can't happen. See, our citizens right now are paying extremely high taxes, and these taxes aren't even going to benefit their needs. They're paying all these taxes, yet they still have potholes on the roads. The school systems are still not good. The security, the police, everything has room to improve. But you know what we're doing with these tax dollars? We're shipping them over to Ukraine. We're helping them with the war versus Russia, which quite frankly is an unwinnable war. It is an unwinnable war. Ukraine would never be able to beat Russia, and the only reason they are still fighting in this war is because the United States of America is funding Ukraine so they can continue to fight Russia, so lives can continue to be lost and cities continue to be destroyed, and quite frankly, not to scare anyone, but continue to push threats of World War III closer and closer and closer.
Well, now I have a question for Sam Hayes here.
Okay.
So, how will you fulfill your promise of environmental sustainability?
Of course, of course. So, as we know, a main problem of the environmental issues of the United States of America, of the world, to be honest, greenhouse gases. And one extremely bad cause that the greenhouse gas effect has caused, hole in the ozone. And obviously, that is our atmosphere. We breathe
Now, Mr. Hayes,
oxygen from
Mr.
it.
Hayes, do you have scientific backup? Do you have scientific proof that
Absolutely.
there is a hole in the ozone?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You do.
This has been proven thousands of times by scientists over again. There's a hole in the ozone layer. And I have a solution for that, to be honest. That's what I was getting to here. So, as you know, steel is conductive. It conducts heat very well. But you can't put that in the sky, so that won't be being used. Wood doesn't really conduct heat. So we will build a massive wooden dome over the atmosphere. What can I say?
Yeah, and
Yes. Now,
I
Mr.
actually ask you
Hayes,
another
Mr.
question.
Hayes,
Yes.
before we
Yes.
move on,
Mrs.
Mr. Clifford,
Mrs. Yes.
Yeah,
I
what
would
was
like
this?
to add something in here that, quite frankly, might have been the most uneducated response to a question that I've ever heard in my entire life. Quite frankly, I don't think you're taking this seriously, and I think you think that this job as president, I think you think it's a big joke. When quite frankly, it is the most important thing in this country and in this world at this moment.
That hurts
All
my
right,
heart to
well,
hear
can I
that.
ask you this, Samantha Hayes? So I actually want to ask you, what is your plan for affordable health care?
Mr. Hayes, that was directed to you.
Mr. Hayes,
That's you.
I was zoned out. I apologize. I'm used to being called Mrs., as you know. So affordable healthcare. Yes, yes, yes.
Now, wait,
Affordable.
when you say Mrs., to me you look like a man. Please explain.
Oh, yes. As
All
you
right, well,
know.
we'll get to this. We'll get to this later.
Okay.
So, and again, just
Later.
answer
Yeah.
this
Yes. Yes.
question: what is your
Answer the
plan
I
for
question.
affordable
apologize.
health
I
care?
apologize, Mr. Clifford. Continue.
So, question was about affordable healthcare, correct?
Yeah.
So, as we all know, the Obama Act.
Well,
The Obama Act. It was terrible for the taxes. It was terrible for the citizens of the United States. Okay. It was terrible. It was free healthcare, but honestly, it wasn't good. So there will be the Health, Hayes Health that rolls off the tongue immaculately, and everybody will have to pay me $1 million to get access to that. Yeah.
Now, Mr.
Million-
Hayes, Mr.
Yes.
Hayes, when you say they will have to pay you $1 million, do you mean that like a saying, or do you mean that people will literally have to pay $1 million to get access to this healthcare plan?
I accept cash, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, all the above. Just put it in my wallet and I
Mr.
got you.
Hayes, this is highway robbery, and this is worse than anything the history of our country has ever seen before.
I
This
beg to
is
differ.
quite frankly
well-
the worst healthcare plan I have ever heard.
Yeah, well, can I
Sure
get?
thing.
I actually got a question for both of you guys.
Yes.
What would you guys do to maintain a stable economy? Let's let David Mitchell go first here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So to withstand a stable economy, so a stable economy is the most important aspect of a country. You take away, sorry, little
Don't worry
malfunction.
about it. It happens. It happens.
Sorry about that, everybody. Where was I? Okay, so a stable economy is the most important thing to the success and the prosperism of a country. Now, if you do not have a stable economy, then the rest just crumbles. Because really think about this. You need families to be able to buy their necessities, like a car to take the kids to and from school, to and from work. You need money for groceries, to get food, to feed yourself and your family. You need a little bit of money aside because you know what? This is America and you should be able to treat yourself every now and then. Go on a vacation. Buy that cool thing you see in the store. You should have a little bit of money left over to do these things. Now, without a stable economy, this is almost impossible if you are not upper class to a literal like millionaire. Now, that should not stand because this country is based off of the average working class family. That is, when you think of America, when you think of an American family, you think of the dad that goes to work, the mom that kind of stays home, gets stuff, or hey, maybe even the mom goes to work too, but you think they have enough to buy all their necessities because this is not a third world country. This is America. This is America.
Number
So
one.
without a stable economy, it's not going to be good. So to create this stable economy, we need to, like I previously said, stop charging American citizens, from their tax dollars, stop reaching into their pockets, taking it out and shipping it to Ukraine so some poor soldier can get his legs blown off. Because honestly, that's what's happening out there. It's sickening. And that's what's happening out there. And that is one step we could take to make this stable economy.
All right, well, Samantha, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, absolutely. So, economies, not gonna lie, complicated, very complicated economies are. They're very complicated. There's multiple different groups of class. Probably nobody in America has the exact same dollar net worth. But I will solve that. I will give everybody $100,000 and I will make everything on the market cost a cent. This will set them up for eternity. And anybody
Now, Mr.
trading
Hayes,
these, yes,
now let me interrupt. This is kind of creeping into the communism territory.
absolutely
Are you trying to turn America into a communist regime?
Absolutely not. Absolutely, you sound like you're twisting my words here. Twisting my words.
No, I don't think it's twisting. I think you said that you would give everybody $100,000 or whatever the dollar amount was,
Yes.
and you would fix the prices to everything to be the same.
Absolutely.
That is what I heard. That is what I heard you say.
Absolutely, you heard correctly too. Absolutely.
All right, well, David Mitchell, I actually have a question for you here. How will you restore law and order?
Okay, thank you. So the first step that needs to be taken to restore law and order, it's a hot topic, and to some, it's a sensitive topic, which I don't know why would ever be a sensitive topic because it's illegal. Never was, never will be legal. It's illegal. Illegal immigration is a very big problem right now. And to restore law and order, the first thing that makes sense is to get rid of all of these illegal migrants coming in from our southern border. Now, this country is based off law. This country is based off order. The number one law you have for anything to apply, you are a citizen of the country to vote, to do anything. Now, these people, and to get the amazing privileges and freedoms that us as Americans all share. Everybody in this call, most of our viewers probably watching are American citizens. We all get to enjoy these freedoms, and these illegal aliens are coming in thinking that they have the right to just come here, and they're not just coming here and living peacefully. No, they are coming here. They are raping our women. They are committing crimes. They are stealing. There has been a lot of stuff about these gangs coming in from the southern border, cartel taking over hotels, and all these sorts of crazy, unimaginable things that would happen in a third world country, but you wouldn't think United States of America, but it is. And the first step to rebuilding law and order in this country is to get these illegal aliens. Any means necessary, we remove them, we put them back where they belong, and then we can start from square one.
Well, Kyle says, see this. What is your plan to hold up traditional values of America?
Sorry, I got a little thirsty there. So,
Absolutely fine.
traditional values of America, like the immigration, it is a founding principle. It is a founding principle of this country. And it can't be. Can you please restate the question again?
Sorry. What is your plan to hold up traditional values of America?
Thank you. I'm sorry. I must have lost concentration. I do apologize. But traditional values of America need to be saved, need to be valued, and they need to keep going, because these traditional values that us as Americans all share, they are very important. And you take that away, you take America away. Our traditional values, we are a predominantly Christian country, Christian Catholic. So a lot of these things going on in Paris, over there in Germany, where all of these Muslims are coming in, that is something that we have yet to really see, but that is something that I'm going to take steps to kind of foresee that nothing like that does happen in the future. And we also, again, another traditional value is the price of a house. The price of a house should not cost this much. It is ridiculous. The average American family can't afford a home that fits them. They are living in bunk beds. They are living in crowded spaces. They are living in not so nice neighborhoods where then they are then influenced to make poor choices. You have like say 20, 30 years ago, a pretty wealthy family, making ends meet, doing pretty good for themselves. They can live in a nice neighborhood. But now you have that family making that same amount of money today. You're now living in the suburbs of Philly, gang violence everywhere, drug use, alcohol abuse, all of the above, and your child will be 10 times more likely to go down that road, as if you could just get a house that you deserve in the nice neighborhood that you worked for. And that needs to change.
All right. Well, actually, to Sam Hayes here, I actually have a question for you here.
Oh, yes.
So, you say you will listen to the needs of the people. How do you plan on fulfilling that promise?
Absolutely.
I'm intrigued to hear this.
Yes.
Because so far he has portrayed himself as incompetent and uneducated. So I'm very interested to see how this pans out right here.
All right. So, fulfill the needs of the American people, right? So let me set the scene. As you know, on websites, right? You might not know you have a question, like you bought something on Amazon or something. You have a question. Support button. I will personally give everybody my phone number so they can press the support button, because I'm obviously I'm gonna make a new phone brand and have it all customized for every American for optimal American usage for the phones. And obviously, there will be a support button. It'll be you can only press it once a week, of course, because I don't want to be getting spam calls every day by an American wanting $1. But yes.
Now, Mr. Hayes, Hayes.
Yes.
Let me butt in for a second. This
absolutely
is, again, backs up my claim that you are uneducated, you are unfit for the role of presidency, and quite frankly, that might top your other idea for the most utterly stupid answer I have ever heard. You want to personally give every American your phone number, correct?
Absolutely. Well, obviously,
correct.
It'll be
correct.
Yes
or no? Yes or no? Correct. Correct or incorrect? Correct or incorrect? Did you state it or did you not state it? Correct or incorrect?
I got 2 phones. One for the everyday.
You have 2 phones.
Everyday business, right? one for the everyday business.
Now,
one for
Mr.
the
Hayes,
American
you're dodging the point of what I'm trying
Yes.
to say right now. What I'm
Okay,
trying
okay.
to make you understand to get through to your thick skull is that in this country, do you have any idea the population of this
Absolutely.
country?
400 million. 439 million point 736, I
Now,
believe.
I'm gonna say that is very incorrect, and give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I don't know this off the top of my head. I'm gonna look at some numbers for real quick. Hold on. Give me
Absolutely.
2 seconds.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it says here that the population of America, and here I can show you too. I can
Yes.
show you the exactly what I'm looking at. It is 300. It is 334.9 million as of in 2023. Now, 333 million.
Okay.
Now,
Absolutely.
if every American, all 334.9 million as of 2023,
Yes.
have your phone number and are eligible to reach out to you once a week asking for something. Now, how do you plan on answering all of this?
Absolutely.
How would you
May
plan on
I add?
answering
Excellent
this?
question. Excellent question. So, as you know, tech support phone call centers usually are ran by Amazon. So, Amazon, I love Amazon greatly. They're getting kicked out of those call centers and they're becoming Samantha Hayes
Mr.
support
Clifford,
call
can you get a
centers.
load of
All right,
this?
well, here, let's.
It's Sleepy Joe,
Yeah.
utterly stupid Sleepy Joe rambling again. He is back. He is reincarnated a new form, and I have the honor of running against him. This is pretty interesting. I am once again, thank you for inviting me onto this podcast. I am finding things out that I would have never even guessed from the advertisements and how the Democratic Party portrays you. But talking to you face to face here today really makes me understand what I'm really running up against. So I would like to thank you, and I think we would
Thank you
really,
too.
I think we really need to plan a debate sometime
Yeah.
soon, a more public.
Well, Sam Hayes, I actually have a question for you here.
Okay,
How do you
yes.
create job opportunities?
Good job opportunities, of course. As you know, 9/11, right? Terrible, tragic event in history. The Twin Towers fell. The most American skyscrapers in
Now,
America.
Mr. Hayes, how does
They
this
fell.
have anything to do with job opportunity for this country?
Now I'm getting to that. Mrs. Hayes, by the way. I'm getting to that. Okay. Absolutely. So we all know one plane, the strong American spirit, they fought over that hijackers and unfortunately, they had to crash it. I wish they could have landed it, but they couldn't have. But they crashed in a field in America. And as everybody knows, that plane
Now,
was headed
Mr.
for the
Hayes, let
White
me
House.
ask you a question. Now,
Yes.
do you know what state this happened in?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, continue.
Yep. And absolutely. So it did. Okay, so we can be honest here. Terrible, tragic event. Very, very sad.
Well, yes, I don't think anybody's disagreeing with you on that one.
Yes. But it did create job opportunities for rebuildation. They had to rebuild the Site Zero into the what
Now,
is that?
Mr. Hayes, where are
Yeah.
you getting at with this exactly?
Absolutely. Job opportunities. That's my entire point of this argument or debate. Well, question. Job opportunities.
Mr. Hayes, you said you're
Yes.
asking a question?
No. I meant to say I was answering the question with my yes. I mixed my words up. I fumbled and I apologize. Yes. So I don't know if I said this yet, but my plan was to absolutely put a plane into the White House and rebuild the White House.
Now, Mr. Hayes,
I don't.
Mr. Hayes, what are you exactly suggesting here? Because
Absolutely.
are you suggesting that you, if elected president of the United States, will operate a terroristic attack on the White House by flying a plane into it to
Absolutely
create
not.
job opportunities to rebuild?
Absolutely not at all, my friend.
Okay, then what is your point here? Just cut to the chase because you lost me. You lost me about a couple minutes ago with this one. I'm sorry.
So as you know, it takes lots and lots of time to demolish a building. You got to get a crane, you got to get a wrecking ball, and you got to send that wrecking ball into that building several hundred times, especially for a building the size of the White House. You got to send the wrecking ball, swooping in, pull her up, swoop her in.
Now, Mr. Hayes, what does
Yes.
this have absolutely anything to do with job opportunity? Because this is sounding a lot like either terrorism you were talking about or
Absolutely
demonstrating
not.
work on a construction site. You have
Yes.
lost me. Mr. Clifford, I don't mean to butt in on your
Yeah,
podcast.
how about we go to the next question here?
Because I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think he
Finish.
knows, and quite frankly, I don't even think he knows what he just
Oh,
said.
absolutely, I know.
All right. Well,
Here's my theory, though. The plane
Now,
drove
Mr.
by
Hayes,
AI.
we've moved on. We've
No
moved
citizens
on.
will die.
No, Mr. Hayes, we've
moved on. So,
Oh,
Sam Hayes, I actually have another question for you,
You
though.
go sit down. We've moved on. We've
I
moved
actually have
on.
another
Yes.
question for you, though. How
Yes.
can you ensure fair treatment for all, like you have stated you would do?
Oh, of course. Of course. That's simple. Apologize. We will. Okay, fair treatment. Absolutely. There will be no unfair treatment. Everybody equal, as if you're one hand next to the other. Symmetrical and equal in shape and size. Well,
Now, how do you plan on doing this, though, Mr.
yes.
Hayes?
The shape and size is a little bit of a stretch because obviously that's not possible because DNA exists in genetics and all that nonsense. I don't know biology, but what's it called? I know politics. So,
Do you, though, Mr. Hayes?
absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
Because you are doing a very poor job in demonstrating that here tonight, but continue.
Yes. So, fair treatment. Everybody will be punished if one person messes up. Everybody will be awarded if one person does good. Everybody will be paid if one person works. It'll be the amazing, most united America ever. There will be people, I'm not saying they will do this, but people may schedule days for one person to work, like a billionaire. They log into Tesla, work a little bit, get $1 billion. The government requires to give everybody $1 billion.
Now, Mr. Hayes, now that I know earlier we were talking about communism.
Yes.
That was communism. That was 100%
Absolutely not.
definitely communism. Yes, it was. And
Absolutely
quite
not.
frankly, that is a threat to our democracy. And that is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard come out of a presidential candidate for the United States of America.
Yeah.
Now, in my entire life.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
All right.
Well-
Well, David Mitchell, can I ask you this?
Yes.
Yes. How would you bring common sense solutions to the government's toughest problems?
Thank you. So, there is really one answer. There's one answer. Any problem that will come up that you will come across, there's one thing that you have to go through your mind first. There's one thing that has to go in your mind. The people come first. Now, I know that might sound, yes, obviously, but it's kind of crazy, and a lot of people aren't educated on this. They don't keep up to date on this. But the activities going on in the White House right now, they do not have the interest of the people in mind. They have the interest in money in their pockets. They are dirty, they are filthy, excuse me, and they are quite disgusting. And quite frankly, we need to get Sleepy Joe and Kumala out of office, and we need a fresh start. We need a new fresh start. We need to start putting the people first again. The American people are what this country is based off of. In our constitutional right, the people come first. It says it. It's a constitutional right. We come first, not the money. And what needs to happen is we need to start putting our people first.
Go.
All right. So actually, I have a question for both of you guys here. All right. So where do you stand on the rights to open carry firearms? We'll start with Sam Hayes. Sam Hayes.
Absolutely. I think it's a God-given right to carry an RPG. Little firearms, those are too dangerous. You won't believe me. They're more dangerous because of how easy they are to handle and to hide and to conceal and to carry. RPG, you can't walk around with that in public. Are you kidding me? But it could be used as home protection. Absolutely.
Now, Mr. Hayes, if you used an RPG as home protection, you would not only it would not only destroy your home, it would also have a very high risk of harming you. And
Absolutely.
what you have just said simply just doesn't make any sense to me. Or quite frankly, I don't think Mr. Clifford thinks it makes very much sense either. I don't want to speak for
Yeah,
him.
really, it didn't really make
And
much
I don't
sense,
think it
but
makes sense for the
here,
people either.
David
Wow.
Mitchell, let's hear your side of the argument for this question.
Let's hear
Yes,
let's hear
thank
this
you. So I'm actually
blasphemy.
going to completely 100% disagree with Mr. Hayes on this one. I would like to say that it is your God-given right to own a pistol, to own a shotgun, to own an AR, to own whatever gun you so choose, as long as you get the registrations for it and you are permitted to carry it. Now, a lot of things going on. There's a lot of whispers going around that Mr. Hayes, your party, is talking about putting a ban on guns, doing this whole gun control thing. Now, the problem with that is if you take away the guns from the people, you leave them stranded. You leave them unprotected. You leave them completely screwed for one reason and one reason only. Let me give you an example. Narcotics such as cocaine, meth, heroin, etc. That is illegal, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. People still get that, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Now, let me ask you this, who is in charge of distributing narcotics? Who's in charge of that? What type of people? Is it the civilians, the law-abiding civilians, or is it criminals?
Absolutely, it's criminals. Absolutely.
Criminals, correct. So,
Yes.
if criminals can get their hands on these narcotics that are illegal, what makes you think that they won't be able to get their hands on guns that are illegal? I'm gonna answer this one for you. They will, they can, and they will. Now, see the issue here? If you have a bunch of criminals running around with weapons, with firearms, and the civilians all have the law-abiding citizens have theirs taken away, leaving them open and just, defenseless, to be quite
Absolutely.
honest with you.
Yes.
Quite frankly, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Those criminals, homicide rates will be through the roof. Crime rates will be through the roof. And the defenseless, innocent civilians will have no say on the matter. They cannot do a single thing about it because they have no way to defend themselves. They are defenseless. And that is why you should be able to have whatever gun you want. You should be able to have anywhere between 1 and 500 if you so choose.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I mean, I actually haven't. For our last question, this is actually for both of you guys also.
Yes.
So we'll actually start with Sam Hayes again here first.
Okay.
But do you agree with how easy it is to get a sex reassignment surgery, and do you think something needs to be changed?
Okay. Absolutely, something needs to be changed. Okay. In order to get the surgery, it's easy access. You just got to go to your doctor. Hey, can I get gender reassignment surgery? Absolutely nice. Perfect. Thank you. See, that's just an illusion of what it looks like. But with me as the presidential chair sitting in that Oval Office enjoying my life, getting rich, drinking Diet Coke all day, you have to pay me not 1, not 2, but 3 million bones to get a.
So, Mr. Hayes, you are proclaiming
Yes.
that you should call up a doctor. They should allow you to get this change and what is the age gap? Like, what is the age for this? Like, how old would you have to be able to do this?
Okay, I had this in my notes somewhere. Let me rethink this. I'm gonna have to call up my boss.
Now, Mr. Hayes, you do realize you're what is essentially applying
Yes.
for a position that you are the boss. You don't have a boss, Mr. Hayes.
I have a manager. Absolutely. Oh
No, Mr. Hayes,
got
you
the
don't.
age. Got the age. Repeat that. Oh yeah, absolutely. 60 plus.
60.
60 plus.
Now, Mr. Hayes, I think you have something clinically wrong with you. And now I'm sorry, Mr. Clifford, for taking over here, but I'm gonna answer that question now.
Yeah.
I think that it should never be acceptable in the history of ever, never. Now, you know what's happening right now?
Yes.
These kids, and it's really quite sad, honestly. These kids think that they're born in the wrong body because they are being brainwashed and manipulated by the things they are watching, the things they are hearing, and the things they are learning in school.
Mhm.
Now, these teachers, a whole nother topic, these teachers really need to be checked. They need to be certified. They need to be legit. These teachers
Yes.
are coming in, they are brainwashing our children in elementary school, in kindergarten, in preschool. We have these
Absolutely.
mentally ill teachers forcing these agendas on our kids, saying things along the lines of it's okay to feel like you're born in the wrong body, you can change this. No. You are born a
Absolutely.
man and you die a man, or you are born a woman and you die a woman. There is no other option. There are two genders. You have a 50-50 shot at each. There is nothing in between. There is no other options.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. I mean, thank you guys for answering all these questions. I mean, like anything else you guys like to add before we wrap all this up?
I may.
Well, actually,
May I?
I do have something to add. Oh, well, Mr. Hayes, I'm going to actually add mine. I'm going to do the honors of doing it before you because
That's
I
fair.
think it's just such an words can't describe how uneducated and
We can agree to disagree.
to say the least. Now, what I was going to add is I actually have today's sponsor for this podcast because it wasn't easy getting both me and Mr. Hayes here
It was
together
not.
tonight to do this podcast, and we couldn't have done it without a little help. And what better person to help than Milwaukee Tools? And that is today's sponsor, Milwaukee Tools. And actually, as a matter of fact, I have one of their products sitting right here on my desk, one of many, as a matter of fact, that I might own because I don't know if you guys know this, but I used to work in the blue collar field. I used to be an electrician before I got into politics, and it would only be Milwaukee Tools, the only one I would ever use, the only one good enough for the job. And if it's good enough for the president, which I can comfortably say that I feel very confident in this election after this, if it's good enough for the president, it's going to be good enough for you. And wouldn't you want a tool that wouldn't you want to own a tool that the president used? And Tools built America. They helped to build everything you see around you. You look around you, everything you see had to be built by men with tools. Now, what better tools to use than the top brand, Milwaukee? Milwaukee Tools. A better tool for a better country.
Absolutely. Milwaukee's the best, man.
Yeah,
It
Sam,
is.
what did you have to say?
Oh yes, I was gonna remind everybody, vote blue, please. Hayes 2024. Make America great again.
I mean,
Okay,
now,
so I don't think anybody's going to do that. And you also have stolen the slogan for the Republican Party right there, which is bipartisan.
Absolutely
So I
not.
do take great offense to that. Now, I would just like to end it off here. Thank you. I would like to just thank you again, Mr. Clifford, for having me on
yeah,
this
thank you for
podcast.
Thank
showing
you,
up.
Clifford.
And I really hope the American people saw this, and I really hope they can really take something away from this. Because together, if I win, together, me, Mr. Hayes, Mr. Clifford, and all of the people watching, and everybody in this great, glorious country can unite together. Whether you are black, white, yellow, purple, any color, any race, any religion, we will join together. We will make this country powerful again. We will make this country clean again. We will make this country safe again. And together, with the help of me, my cabinet, my political party, and most importantly of all, the citizens of America, who I'm doing all of this for, we can make this country great again.
You very well
Thank you
said.
again, Clifford. Thank you again.
And now we can pretty much wrap this up. So, I mean, thank you everybody for watching this and have a good one.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Clifford.